Alright, welcome to another video. This one's on demand, which begins my favorite unit of the year, equilibrium. So we'll spend a lot of time in this, do lots of practice, and hopefully you guys will be pros for the test. So here's some of the things that I would like to talk about today. And tomorrow when we come to class, hopefully we can get lots of examples in. Alright, so first we have the law of demand. Or not the law, the definition of demand and the definition of quantity demanded. But let's start with demand. So demand is the amount of a good or a service that a consumer is willing and able to buy at various possible prices during a given period of time. Now with this definition, there are a few things that I would like you to highlight. The first being willing and able to buy it. In order to have demand for a product, you have to be willing and able to purchase it. For example, if you are a teenager right now and you're thinking, man, it sure would be fun to buy some stocks, you might be absolutely willing to buy some stocks, but you are not able. You cannot buy stocks until you are 18 years old. So no matter what the price is, you can't buy them. Now, there might be some things that you're able to buy, you're just not willing to buy it because, let's be honest, no one really wants that. Like a Brussels sprout sandwich. I mean, I can't imagine that would cost more than $1.50. But how many of you guys want that? That's right, no one. The next thing you should highlight is at various prices. When we're talking about demand, we're not talking about one little price. We're talking about a bunch of different prices. And you will see this with a demand curve. So when we are talking about a demand curve, you'll see that we're talking about a bunch of different prices. Next thing you should highlight is during a given period of time. Eventually, you'll be willing and able to buy anything you want. But right now, you may not be able to. Next comes quantity demanded. It's the amount of a good or a service that a consumer is willing and able to buy at each particular price during a given period of time. So once again, there are a couple things that I want you to highlight. You have to be willing and able to buy it. It's also during a given period of time. And then the last thing I want you to highlight is at each particular price. This is where quantity demanded differs from demand. When we're talking about quantity demanded, we're talking about a very specific price. So what quantity is demanded at $1 or $52, that kind of thing. Now, the law of demand simply describes our behavior. So think about you. When the price of something increases, quantity demanded decreases. So when price goes up, you want less of it. It goes the other way as well. When price decreases, quantity demanded increases. So here's my nifty little abbreviation for that. Next, we have some things that explain why demand is the way that it is. For example, the income effect. It's simply put, a change in purchasing power because of a change in price. So because prices changed, you are able to buy more or less of a product with the money that you have with you. So, for example, you love Hershey bars. They're amazing. You're probably thinking about getting a Hershey bar right now. You might even be eating a Hershey bar right now. And you're perfectly happy paying $1 for a Hershey bar. But then Hershey bars go on sale. They're now 50 cents. You can buy 2 Hershey bars for $1. Your purchasing power has just gotten stronger because the price of the product has gone down. You can now buy more of the product for the same price. And this is what we talk about when we're talking about wanting a stronger dollar. We want our dollar to be more valuable. We want to be able to buy more stuff with our dollar. That is an increase in purchasing power. Now, you love Hershey bars, and those Hershey bars go up to $5. What are you going to do? Well, of course, you're going to substitute it for a cheaper thing. So that's the substitution effect. You substitute a similar lower price product for one that is more expensive. So if Hershey bars are now $5 a pop, what are you going to do? You're going to look to the right and see the Nestle bars and give those a try because you still love chocolate. You're not going to stop eating chocolate because Hershey bars are expensive. You're going to buy something else. And let's be honest, you've never had a Nestle bar because you're scared. I will tell you right now, Nestle bars are far better than Hershey bars. Go to the store, get yourself a Nestle bar. Pause this video. Go to the store and get yourself a Nestle bar. Then come back, continue watching the video. I'll wait. Pause the video now. All right, now that you're back and you've tried that Nestle bar, wasn't I right? I certainly was, wasn't I? Let that be a lesson to you. I am always right. Now, Nestle bars are a lot cheaper than Hershey bars. What if Nestle bars were suddenly free? All of that delicious chocolate for free. Would you want 1 billion of them? You might be thinking, well, that sounds kind of delightful. But really think about it. What's going to happen to you if you eat 1 billion candy bars? Not a pretty sight, is it? Ugh. Also, how long would it take you to eat all of those candy bars? Yeah, a long time. And you know what happens to old chocolate, right? It's all white and crumbly. It's disgusting. You're never going to eat 1 billion Nestle bars. Don't be so greedy. Now, the reason why you don't want 1 billion candy bars is because of the law of diminishing marginal utility, which simply states, as more units of a product are consumed, the satisfaction received from each additional unit declines. Which means the more you have of something, the less you enjoy it. That's why demand for a product is not limitless. You're going to love the activity related to this tomorrow. Next, we get to demand schedules. And a demand schedule shows in a table format the quantity of products consumers are willing and able to buy at a series of possible prices. Basically, it's a chart that shows us quantity demanded. Each one of these prices and quantity demanded are a point on a graph. And I'll show you that graph in just a moment. Do you notice that at $1, 14,000 products are wanted? At $2, quantity demanded is 9,000, and at $3, 3,000 quantity demanded. So there are 2 things you can do with this graph. First, you can draw a demand curve, which we're going to do in a moment. The second thing you can do is you can figure out total revenue. So if I were to sell my product for $1, how much money would I make? If I were to sell it for $2, how much money would I make? So you do 1 times 14,000 that equals 14,000. You do 2 times 9,000 that comes out to 18,000, and you do 3 times 3,000 that comes out to 9,000. If you're a smart businessman, where do you want to set your price point? That's right, $2. Good job, you're so smart. Now, a demand curve shows in graph format the data listed in the demand schedule. So it looks like this. Let's see if we can get this thing to work. It hasn't been working too well today. So let's check a color. Let's try white. So here's the graph we're going to use. See how my lines are super straight and awesome? So on the left side of the graph, we always have price, and across the bottom, we always have quantity. Demand curve is always curved like this. It's negatively sloped. And if you remember from our chart, our prices were $1, $2, and $3. Our quantity demanded were 3, 9, and 14. So at $1, 14,000 people demanded our product. At $2, we had 9, and at $3, we had 3,000 quantity demanded. So each little dot that you see shows quantity demanded. You remember the definition for quantity demanded, right? The amount of a good or service that consumers are willing and able to purchase at various possible prices or specific possible prices during a given period of time. The white line shows the definition of demand. It shows various possible prices, lots of prices all at the same time. The white line is actually every possible combination of price and quantity for that product. So it shows every possible combination. That's the demand curve. Quantity demanded is the blue dots on the curve. Does that make sense? Great. If not, Google it or ask me tomorrow. I'll be happy to explain it to you. All right, so this is the kind of stuff we're going to work on tomorrow. So enjoy.